All right, here's another problem that comes from the CPM book, Course 1. And this is another one about croaky. This time it's croaky doing super high jumps. So jumping really high. Good for him. First time he performed this new super high jump routine, he did 3 super high jumps and then hopped 5 feet. All right, that's his first attempt. And then second time he did only 2 super high jumps and then hopped 6 feet. Both times he covered the same distance. So that's the key, that in both attempts, croaky covered the same exact distance. And it wants to know, how far did croaky travel in one super high jump? Well, if you look, the routines were very, very similar. That croaky, in both cases, started with 2 super high jumps. All right, he started with 2 super high jumps in both cases. And then the only difference is that in the first attempt, he did an extra super high jump followed by a jump of 5, where in the second attempt, he just did a jump of 6. And if you notice that these lengths are also the same, that this length here is 6. And if you look here, this length is also equivalent. So that length is also 6. So, well, what is this super high jump then? Well, this super high jump has to be 1. If the lengths are the same, he does 2 mystery jumps, two super high jumps, and then another high jump plus 5. Well, that high jump plus 5 should be the same as 6, a jump of 6 to the right. It's the same length. And if we go ahead, we know that the two attempts are exactly the same length. So let's test that out. Let's plug in 1 for all of our super high jumps, and we get that the first attempt would be 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 5, which is 8 feet long, and the second jump as well. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 6 is 8 feet long. So how far does croaky jump in one super high jump? He jumps one foot across, right? How do I know that? Well, I know that the routines are the exact same. So I was able to match up the high jumps. These 2 high jumps are exactly the same distance. And so 1 high jump plus 5 is the same distance as 6. So 5 plus 1 is 6. That's how I figured out that they were all 1, is looking at the diagrams, that they match up. The x's match up, and the x plus 5 matches up with 6. That x plus 5 must be the same distance as 6, that they're the same. And so how long is the whole routine? His whole routine is 8 feet long. And we were able to tell that by plugging in 1 for the super jumps.